It's basically a review of the Keep Tinkering trigger for my TX22 pistol, which I do love this pistol. The trigger, I wasn't a fan of it. Mainly, what I didn't like about it was how it had this kind of like a trigger safety where this trigger rocks back before it would, be able to go all the way to release the striker. And I came across the Keep Tinkering video on YouTube. I do a lot of research when I'm looking to make purchases and things, and I like to make not necessarily make modifications, but upgrade things. They're good as they are in a lot of cases, but they can be made a little bit better with a few little modifications, like the trigger from Keep Tinkering. I also have some TandemKross goodies on here. I've got the fiber optic sight, the Pro Game Changer 2 compensator, the +5 Wingman base plates on the magazines, which one thing that I found out, thanks to another person in the TX22 group on Facebook, is that these +5 Wingman base plates it increased the capacity of both the 10 round and the 16 round magazines to the 21 rounds. And basically what it is that this is a 16 round mag originally, this is a 10 round, and what it does is one, you have to remove the little buttons that use to slide the magazine or the follower down to allow loading the magazines, which I wasn't really fond of those anyway, because one, in this case, the channel here is much shorter, obviously, on this magazine. It's one way of telling that this is originally a 10 rounder, and this is a 16. But the way that I found to load these magazines, which, by the way, again, I'm sorry, that on the original magazine, the 10 rounder, there's like just a plastic piece that keeps that follower from going down enough to allow the 16 rounds. So you can actually buy the 10 rounders and modify them, which I won't go into, but you can make them where the 10 rounds will hold the 16. So, but what I do is with these magazines, now that I don't have the little button in there, which again I didn't really use anyway, is I just kind of use my finger and thumb here to kind of just guide the round in, and right at this little indentation there, you just push down and back, and they load pretty simple. For me anyway, I just kind of use those fingers to kind of line that round up, and it doesn't take any time at all. The rounds go in pretty easily and without much effort, just because I'm using these other fingers to help stabilize, to keep that round lined up. Kind of wasn't really doing that there, and then doing it that way also by pushing that round down. Some people were, basically pulling that follower all the way down, and when you drop those rounds in, you can get rim lock. So I think this is just a much better way to load the magazine anyway, but it's personal preference. But anyway, I digress. On to the review of this Keep Tinkering trigger. I'm also creating this video because I want to send this over, or have the guys over at Keep Tinkering review it, because basically I ran into a little bit of a problem. I've been doing some messing around trying to figure out what's going on with it, but basically after doing the trigger, which this gun is safe, by the way, there's no magazine in it, there's no round in the chamber, and these are just dummy rounds. I don't have any live ammo here anyway, but the way to take this down is also to pull the trigger. So I just make sure that I don't keep any live ammunition. But anyway, in doing my testing after putting the trigger in, I was getting mixed results, and sometimes I would pull the trigger, nothing. It's not firing. And then every once in a while, I pull it. Oh, look, it went finally. And then sometimes I'd pull really hard and it would go. And then, lo and behold, I'm messing with it some more. And then I discover if I really grab the gun a little better and my finger goes into the trigger well more, and I pull more back this way. So back and like to the right, back towards like my shoulder, if I squeeze the trigger that way, it goes off every time. Every single time. But if I push more like on this edge or pushing back into the left on the trigger, so if my hands were smaller, you know, or my fingers are shorter or something, and I'm just kind of pulling the trigger that way, it will not go off. I'm squeezing, I mean, I'm pulling hard on that, and it's not doing it at all. But if I kind of reach more around, pull more, boom, goes every time. And it's nice. You know, it's got a little bit of take up, hit that wall, just a little bit more travel, boom. It's nice. I like it. It's definitely an upgrade from the original trigger. However, with its inconsistency, like I'm just pulling straight back on it, and then it took there it went the first time. You know, I just can't consider that reliable. And, you know, doing some research and looking at it and trying to figure out, you know, what could be causing it based on which way I'm kind of squeezing, which I know you want to go straight back, not really at an angle, but if I do that, it's very inconsistent. It's not going off every time. So I'd like, basically, you know, some thoughts. Anybody has any comments on it and what they think that it might be, let me know down in the comments section. And I will be, you know, sending a link to this video over to Keep Tinkering. Maybe have them, you know, see if they have any ideas. Maybe they're smarter than me. I can't figure out what exactly is causing it. I've taken it apart a couple times trying to figure it out, and maybe there's something I need to shave off a little bit, you know, to allow that trigger to travel the full distance. But man, when I pull on it either way and just look down in there and watch that trigger bar travel, I don't see a difference at all. It might be just, you know, a minuscule amount, but it's just enough that it's not allowing that striker to release to allow it to hit the firing pin, you know, to basically to have the gun fire like it should. And I don't want to have to sit out there and maybe have somebody that I'm trying to train on this gun or something, and they're like, oh, it's not going off, and then boom, all of a sudden it does. You know, they pull on it the right way. I can't have that. You know, I need to make sure that's reliable. So I'm hoping to get that fixed, either figure it out on my own or something like that, and get it working good for me. But one other quick thing to note is that the video was pretty good on YouTube on how to change this trigger out. The one critique that I have is that it made this pin look very easy to push out. Oh, you just kind of put a pin in, it comes right out, which of course it is now. But man, I had to bang the heck out of this on this side to get that pin out. And make sure that you're coming down straight on it. And it could be that mine's in opposite of the way that it is in the video. Don't know if that could be what it is, but that's how it was for me. And maybe with that trigger bar in there, you know, it was kind of at an angle. So when I'm trying to push that out, I think it just mushroomed this side of this pin enough that it was a booger to get out. Like I said, I used two different 1/16 punch and hammered the heck out of it and finally got it out. I'm glad I didn't damage anything, because I may end up having to put this trigger back in there if I can't figure it out, or maybe take it to a gunsmith, and you know, somebody's way smarter than me to get this figured out, why that particular trigger is not reliable enough. So let me know what you think, and what you think of this video. Like, subscribe, share, all that, whatever. Doesn't bother me. Be cool. Later.